one. Yes, people, welcome back. Whilst Doyle finishes off his chocolate bar to the 150th episode of Hot Kopics. Vamos, chicos. Gus is outside barking now because he thinks someone's intruding. But no, it's just me clapping, Gus, yeah? Drop it out. Get a life, mate. Doyle, welcome back, mate. Listen, we have to talk to the people. I actually have a dentist appointment tomorrow morning that I cannot get out of. So, listen, in an ideal world, we celebrate the 150th episode in the studio, but we'll delay it for a week and do it next week when we're back in the studio. Also, I'm looking hella bummy today, but I don't mind saying it. I haven't washed my hair. You don't wash your hair every day. But what I am wearing, every other day, I'd say. Let us know in the comments. That can be the first.
Yeah, what is that actually for you? If you want, yeah, that's sound. Yeah,
I say every other. Yeah, every other day. Sometimes I do it every day because I'm filming in that. But I can't lie, looking bummy today. But it's no problem because guess what? I am wearing. Shout out to Wall of Football. All right, this guy is a legend. He played at Boots and Shirts 4 in Bootle in the summer, and he sent me this in the post. What a nice man! This is a 0910. Yeah, this is a 0910 training jacket, Anthem jacket, I believe they're called these days, and I love it. And do you know what, Doyle? Maybe it's even a little look into the future of what we're going to be having to wear next season as well, with the old 3 stripes coming back on the scene.
It was the first thing I noticed when we were talking before the stream. Like, I was like, "What have you got on here?" That might be. It's to be honest with you, it's not my most favorite genre, but it's definitely taking me back, and I like the nostalgic vibe. But the ones before it with all like the candy on and all the whatever on, that's what I'm looking for, lads. Remember the one with the half green here, the Robbie Fowler one, and the white here and the white here.
Yeah.
I want that, lads. I want a
remake of that one.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll get that one. Listen, I know some people Adidas, right? It's confirmed. We are going back to the 3 stripes, but hopefully, right, we get some nice training clobber to go along with it. I actually look like
merch.
I look like one of Rafa Benitez's assistants right now. I look like the physio.
With your cap on and that as well, yeah.
With my little cap on. But yeah, big up. Thank you to everyone. First, before we get into the episode, Doyle, we're going to speak about some January transfer sagas. We're going to speak about the game at the weekend that I was at, and we're going to speak about the week ahead to come. And we have a separate PSV preview coming out, so watch that. But before we get into all of that, Doyle, a thank you, I think, is in order. Thank you to you, first and foremost, Doyle, you've probably done, out of the 150, I reckon you're on at least 75.
The way lad, I've done so much on this channel, like I don't even remember all the stuff that we've done, lad. You know what I mean? Like we've done a bunch of stuff, like, which is all just being boss. Time passes, lad, and doing all this type of stuff is really fun. I just enjoy it, mate, and so do you. And I'm glad people enjoy watching it. Like I'm just so grateful to be able to do it. Even just sitting here talking about football is a nice way to just end the weekend, isn't it? It's nice.
Exactly. Lad. And normally we start the weekend by talking about football, but tonight we're recording during the last 10 minutes of the Fulham United game. If there's a goal, we'll let you know. But by the time you watch it, you'll know the score anyway. But yeah, man, a massive thank you to you, Doyle, because I think, without you, genuinely, without you, there would be no the Kop TV.
Mad, ain't it? Thank you.
It's 5 years just over to the day that we started the channel. And Doyle was there from literally before the first video went out. So yeah, what the piece of divine intervention it was, meeting you whilst I was unemployed, starting the channel.
We got very lucky, didn't we, lads? We both got very lucky. Thank you for bringing me in, lads. It's been a wonderful experience so far. Thanks for everyone watching, lads.
That's it, from around the world. They love it. And our job and our duty is to, wherever we are in the world, connect with the people that watch the program. I'm going to Thailand soon. I'm hoping to bunch into a lot of Thai Reds out there and speak about the Reds, really, whilst we watch it. I'm actually watching the Plymouth game in a Irish bar in Bangkok called Fitzgerald's. And then for the derby, I'll be watching that in Koh Samui in a beach bar, hopefully, at 3:30 a.m. when it kicks off out there.
And we play
against Wolves, and that's an 8 o'clock kickoff, which means it's 4 a.m. for me out there as well. So I'm going to really experience and entrench myself in the Thai LFC football watching culture Going to do some
Yeah.
vlogs as well. So make sure in the next few weeks you keep your eye out for them. Subscribe to the channel. But yeah, massive thank you to Doyle. Massive thank you to Mario, to Ruby, to James, everyone that's been on the podcast, to Jack, to Jason, to Hass, and to you at home. Most importantly, we wouldn't still be doing these if you weren't actually listening. So 150, and here's to the next 300. Here's to the next 400, 500. And hopefully we get to 1,000 episodes one day. You never
don't
quite
know,
know.
lads. We're just going to keep doing this. This is the way you look. Like, as I said earlier, time passes, life passes, lad, but we've just got to follow your joy, and we all love football. That's what this community is about. That's why people are coming to watch it. That's why we bonded, lad. That's what it's all about. So I'll just keep doing this until I can't. And that's it, really, lads. And
do you know what?
You can just go to the pub and do it.
Exactly. United won 1-0, Doyle.
What a crap way to end that lovely
And
little
guess who
bonding
scored?
thing with the community that we just had
I
then.
know. Guess who scored as well?
It's going to be Maguire.
Martinez, but he should have been sent off before.
Oh,
he
heavy.
literally did a two-footed tackle on Traore and should have been sent off, and he's got the goal. Life isn't fair. But anyway, they're so beneath us that we don't even care. I literally couldn't care less about them. Anyway, let's move on. Let's talk first about a January transfer rumor. And at this stage, it's a rumor, Doyle. I'm not going to big it up and say it's a cert, but we have linked with Ajax defender Jarrell Hato, right? He's the number 4, the centre back for Ajax. Very talented. Is he a left back?
I don't know. I think he can play on the left. Maybe I'm wrong. He's probably a centre back, lad. I've seen him though.
Yeah, he's a good player, but apparently the rumor is that Hato was at the game yesterday, Doyle, and there was a picture of what allegedly, according to the internet, is him at the game yesterday. He was wearing an LV hat, allegedly. What does that say to you? Because to me, he's probably mates with Virgil. He's probably mates with Gravenberch. He's probably mates with, I wouldn't say Arne Slot in particular, but he's obviously got that Dutch connection there. So in the past, when we've seen players go to games, maybe they're rumored with the club, it never really works out. But I guess if you are going to strengthen the team and the squad in any way possible in the January transfer window, whilst there is 4 days to go, then what do you make of the rumored appearance of Hato at Anfield yesterday?
If he was there, it means if he was there, 100%, lad, that he's thinking about looking at the club. It makes a whole bunch of sense. We've got Dutch players, we've got a Dutch manager. I expect more Dutch players to come in. That's just the way it's going to work. Every manager does it, right? You look at Wolves when Santos was there, and they had about 1 million Portuguese players, lad. You look at Arsene Wenger, got loads of French players. It's just something that happens. So if he is there, which is not a definite, it must mean something, lad. It can't mean nothing. He's not even.
No smoke without fire.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I like the idea of having another centre back. We need it, lad. I love Ibu.
Let me give you.
Ibu and Virgil, the best partnership in the league. Genuinely, like, incredible. But Ibu does get injured, lad. So just to have somebody, especially with Joey being gone now as well. Quant's still there, but I think we could do with the extra one. And I swear he does play left back at some point. You know.
So this is let me give you the profile of him, right? So Jarrell Hato, right, whose profile is a versatile defender capable of operating both as a centre back and a left back, aligns seamlessly with Liverpool's immediate needs. The club manager Arne Slot values Hato not for his flexibility, but for the high ceiling his youth presents an enticing blend for any top tier team. He has been the captain a lot of times for Ajax this season. Obviously, Jordan Henderson is captain / vice captain there as well.
Oh, yeah.
But as we know, once Liverpool are in for you, it means that Real Madrid are going to be in for you, Chelsea are going to be in for you as well. But I think, just like the Gakpo story, right, when he spoke to Virgil dissuaded him from going to United. He persuaded him to join Liverpool. I mean, they want £30 million for him. They don't want to lose him in this transfer window, but around 25-30 mil, they could reevaluate that as well. And you know what? One thing that we don't have, apart from Joe Gomez, but again, you know, unluckily for him, he's been injured, and unluckily for us, we haven't really got that Calafiori, that Akanji, that Ake, that centre back that can play left back comprehensively. Look at Timber as well at Arsenal. You know, Arsenal have got quite a lot of them. Ben White can play right back and centre back. Yes,
I
we've
mean,
got
they've got a
Robbo. Yes,
team
we've
full
got
of centre backs,
Simicast.
them lad.
Exactly. But I mean, I think that we would have tried to get him in the summer. But if there's a chance, if there is a chance and he's come to a game at Anfield, there's a couple of signs that maybe lean towards, actually, are we going for Jarrell Hato now in the next 4 days? How likely is that?
Maybe. You never know, lad. I like his profile. I knew he played left back. I've seen it before. And unfortunately, that's a position we're looking at the moment, right? Robbo's had a sort of dip in form. He's been all right, to be honest with you, lad. I'm not going to say he's a top of the league player still. He's made a few mistakes during the season, and he's just set a standard for himself where he's been so exceptional that when he doesn't play to that level, it almost looks like he's having a bad time. But he's doing all right. But still, we're rebuilding, aren't we, lad? And the way to do that is to get young potential players. And I don't think 25 million's too much to ask for as well. He's 18, 19. How old is he?
I think he's 19.
Yeah, I think he's still a kid, like a proper kid still. But if there's anything to know about slots so far,
He's 18.
is
He's 18. He's 18.
18. Yeah, that's what I mean, lad.
Wow.
If there's anything to know about slots so far, it's he gets his dust players playing football, doesn't he, lad? Look at literally all
Absolutely.
three of them. Virgil's the best defender in the world at the moment. You've got Ryan Gravenberch,
Absolutely.
arguably the best centre defensive mid in the league, and Cody Gakpo, who is scoring for a laugh, and we didn't think we'd see it last season, lad, but here he is. So I trust the buy. I do, lad, and it's unfortunately a position which we're going to need. And you're right about not having a natural position, a natural centre back to go into left back. We do have Gomez, and he has done that before, lad, and he does slip into right back. Gomez is our utility player, but he is injury prone. So let's get another youth, a bit of youth in, lad. Why
I'm
not?
not gonna lie, right? 18, and you've captained Ajax before at left back and centre back. The
He must
picture I
be
saw, he had a
special in some
captain's
way.
armband on, so that could mean he's captained in the lower age teams. But if he has captained in the first team for Ajax when Jordan Henderson is there, I mean that is some career that this kid's gonna have. You know, 18 years old, can play centre back, left back. He's been pictured allegedly at Anfield. He's 18 years old. I mean, it almost seems like another Lenny Euro situation where you go in, you know, wholeheartedly for a youngster and believe in them. It hasn't worked out for him at United, so it looks like we've dodged a bullet with that one. But we're asking you in the chat, Jarrell Hato, right? There hasn't been much transfer rumours at all for Liverpool, if you're a Liverpool fan, in this last 26 days. But does this alleged sighting at Anfield give you hope that Liverpool are going to dip into that market before the time is up and get a player, another body through the door in January? Let us know in the chat now. Do we need him? Do we want him? And do you think that was him at the game the other day? And then what does it mean if he was at the game the other day? Interesting. The second hot topic today, Doyle. Mohamed Salah
The
now
goat.
has more goals in the Premier League than Thierry Henry. And that's a fact. We're not saying
Yep.
that to throw shade. We're not saying that Henry's no good. I stand on my 2 feet and I say Thierry Henry is the best footballer I've ever seen in the Premier League. Still,
Yeah.
I would say that personally. However, Salah has now surpassed him. So my question to you and the people at home for this second hot topics tonight, Doyle, what does that mean? I'm getting very philosophical tonight. I'm asking the meaning of things. But
What does
what
it
does it
mean?
mean? Yeah.
So, what does it mean to say Thierry Henry is better than Mo Salah?
Or the other way around now that Salah's ahead of him.
For me, Thierry Henry, in the same way that Ronaldinho played the game in a beautiful way, and everybody, if you ask anybody who loves football, says Ronaldinho was one of my favorite players. It's because of the way he played football. Because he was in
Yeah.
no way the best at football. He wasn't, lad. He only had a certain amount of time where he was the best for like 4 years. If you look at someone like Mo Salah, he's consistently put up the most incredible stats for like 6, 7, 8 years, like crazy amounts of time, consistency. So it all depends what you value in the game. This is why it's so important to realize like every opinion is just subjectional. It depends what you like. I like to watch footballers that are graceful and elegant on the ball. Why did we like Thiago Alcantara, even though he played 3 or 4 games for us? Because he played the game in the most beautiful way you've ever seen it played, lad. And that's the type of player I like, unfortunately. They're like rare gems. That doesn't mean that Salah isn't one of the greatest players I've ever seen. There's many ways to play our game of football. It's a game. It's a community thing, lad. We all experience the world in different ways, and we experience the game in a different way. Mohamed
Yeah.
Salah plays the game beautifully. And if you asked a lot of people, they would say he's probably better than Thierry Henry, in their opinion, right? So I don't think you can. It's just subjectional to me. I don't think you can say
I
this or
agree.
that. For me, I just think Thierry Henry looked better on the ball. He just was the most elegant, gracious, gazelle-looking player and scored the most beautiful goals and scored a lot of them as well. So that's it,
Yeah.
really. But Mohamed Salah, although he wasn't as graceful, is still one of the most amazing players I've ever watched play football. He
Yeah.
is incredible. It's as simple as that, lad.
And the
Like,
mere fact that we're even daring to compare in a way, right? There's a couple of ways you can look at it, but the way that we're trying to do it is not directly compare the two. All we're putting to the audience and ourselves is, well, now he's overtaken potentially the best player ever in the Premier League. So let's look at that. What does it mean? You say he hasn't had the consistency. I can go through his numbers just to compare them to Mo Salah's. In his first season at Arsenal, 17 goals in the Prem. Second season, 17 goals in the Prem. Third season, 24. Fifth season, 24. Consistency we're seeing now. Sixth season, 30. Seventh season, 25. Eighth season, 27. And in his last season, he only played 17 games but scored 10. Now, what
he's
I
got
meant
consistency,
by
lad.
he has got consistency. We can't deny that. What I meant by there's a couple of ways you can look at this is, and I agree perfectly with what you said. It's all subjective. You can focus on the stats and the numbers, the efficiency, the minutes per goals ratio, the trophies won, the golden boots won, the importance of the goals. Obviously, Thierry didn't really score in finals. That's the one thing maybe you could criticize him for. And you can compare all of that. The numbers, they're all there. The stats are there. The stats now show that Mo Salah is above Thierry Henry. But the other way you can look at it is with the eyes. And I think actually that Mo Salah lazily gets almost pigeonholed into being a not a very nice to look at footballer. I think that's absolute rubbish.
I agree.
His close self-control, the little drag backs, the stops, the starts, the back heels, the bursting dynamic runs from the touchline towards the center of the pitch. It's a beautiful thing to watch. There's no
Ever the
doubt in
City
my
goal?
mind. Exactly. The City
Yeah.
goal, the Watford goal. How many goals has he scored? I
The other
mean, the
Watford
numbers
goal
don't
as
lie.
well.
Exactly. A few Watford goals.
Yeah.
So there's that as well. It's like, well, when you look at them both play, I mean, can you imagine them both in the same team? That would be a cheat code. But my
Ridiculous.
question to you is, now that he's passed him, is there anything that he can do from here on in, now that he has passed him, to actually overtake Henry in the general opinion of the general public? What would he still have to achieve? Because listen, he might win another Premier League this season. If he stays, he might win another one next year. I think that if he wins this one, he's already caught up with Thierry Henry in terms of league titles. He'll have more goals. He might even now move above Frank Lampard, Sergio Aguero in the table, Andy Cole. I don't think he touches Harry Kane or Alan Shearer. Maybe he touches Harry Kane if he gets 3 more years. But my question to you and the people at home is, what more does this fella need to do to almost quiet the haters that say, how dare you compare Mo Salah to Henry? You can if you want, and we're not necessarily directly comparing them. But what we're saying is, the numbers are the numbers. The eye test is the eye test. What more does he need to do to be winning in both of those categories?
Probably win a Ballon d'Or, isn't it? If he wins one of them, then
Which Henry never did. He was
of
robbed of
course.
one, though. I'll be honest. In 03-04,
Yeah.
he should have won it. Pavel Nedved
Yeah.
won it.
I think if he did that, it just gives more weight to his argument, doesn't it? But again, it's a subjectional. It's with the eyes or with the stats, and it's to say it's with the eyes or with the stats is not to take away from Mo Salah, because to watch him is a beautiful thing too. Like I said, watching that Man City goal was wonderful, mate. That was insane. and he has got that tech in him. So I would never say that he can't dribble and he hasn't got technique, because he does, lad. He's also an elegant player. Just Thierry Henry. There's difference, and for me, I enjoyed watching him. Bit more.
Apart from when he played us, he always had a good game against Liverpool.
Did he play for Liverpool? Oh my days. You know what I mean?
I mean,
so
you do remember that interview, don't you?
Go on.
When they said, "What's one club you would have loved to have played for that you never played for?"
Did he say that? Yeah. Mad.
That's what he said.
Well, we got
Can you
Mo Salah
imagine?
and they got Thierry.
Can you imagine for 1 second a Steven Gerrard Thierry Henry partnership?
Ridiculous. Imagine Steven Gerrard, Mo Salah, lad.
Yeah, of course. Imagine them all.
Lad, we've got Trent who's been doing it for years as well. Lad who's been pinging them Virgil. Lad, this team's special.
We're spoiled.
Good.
But we were 6 months. We were 18 months away from a Gerrard Salah combo.
Mad.
Just wasn't to be. But anyway, listen, we'll move on. But my question to you, Doyle, is, and you've answered it already, he has to win a Ballon d'Or, another Prem. But for me, if he wins this Prem, which obviously we're all hoping he does, I think that does it. But you're always going to have the gunners that say, how dare you even mention the two names in the same sentence? And I hear that because that's their guy. That's the best guy they've ever had. Right? But boy, I mean, Mo Salah and Steven Gerrard have now firmly confirmed themselves, and Virgil van Dijk, I would say, is the best 3 Premier League players in the Liverpool era. But I don't know. This is going to rumble on because he's going to start pulling away from Henry soon, Doyle. Towards the end of the season,
it will always remain subjectional. It's the old Ronaldo, Messi thing.
Yeah,
it just is.
But to even be in that conversation is wild. To have overtaken Thierry Henry, in my opinion, that is ridiculous.
I think that's why what you're actually trying to say is, it's not that you think Thierry Henry, that Mo Salah is better than Thierry Henry, but more the fact that he deserves to be in the conversation with Thierry Henry and the greats. And he does. He absolutely deserves to eat at the table of the greats in Premier League history, lad. And he will.
Yeah.
Because nobody, doesn't matter if you like him or not, can deny he's a great. Simple as that, lad. You can't deny it.
But I've gone past the point of being content with him being in the conversation. I think it's disrespectful now if that's all you're going to do with him. Now it's like, well, actually, let's deep dive into this and let's see. And again, what we can't do as well, Mo Salah hasn't retired, right? Thierry Henry stopped playing, 8 years ago, maybe 9 years ago. So let's, at the end of his career, I'm sure we'll do a direct comparison, because then it's square and leveled up. But Mo Salah's still got years ahead of him. So God knows where he'll be. That's what I worry about for Henry. That's what I do worry about with Henry, is that Salah will pull so far ahead that you actually, because at first they compared him to Hazard. He's brushed him away numbers wise. He's cleaned the floor with him. But at some point, he will really start pulling away from Henry. And then it's down to people to say, well, what do you want? Do you want the goals, the assists, the trophies, the golden boots, or do you want what Henry had? Which is actually, Mo Salah's actually won more than what Henry had. So it's an age-old debate that will just carry on and on. But I wanted to bring it up today because not only is he now in the conversation, he's actually taken over Henry. And that's the reason I brought it up, which leads me nicely into the game yesterday, Doyle. And I was at the game. I was sat in row 73 of the Kop yesterday. There's 75 rows in the Kop. And I was right at the top, bro. I couldn't even see the upper ante. All you can see is just to the goal, the other side, and that's it. But I have to say, I've sat up there before. But to be back in there, the last time I sat in there, I think was a pre-season game with Tegan for a little, day out kind of thing. But at the back of 305, 304, 303, unbelievable. And that's where the songs start and end, up there. And you might not hear it if you're down on the Kop, if you're on the main stand, the Kenny stand. Every place to sit is great in that stadium, I'll be honest. If you're in, right? You enjoy it from wherever you're watching it. But special shout out to the choir. I will call them that. The heartbeat, the engine of the stadium. It's the Kop. There's a few people you can actually hear them and look at them that start these songs off, and then within 3 syllables, the whole stadium is singing after them. So big up to the guys at 305 in that block in the Kop. And yeah, the first goal, Doyle, what a finish.
Offside.
What a finish. Talk me through that
Dropped the
goal,
shoulder.
because I know you, that's the kind of goal you like to score when we play
Yeah, yeah.
six-a-side, right? You drop the
Yeah.
little shoulder, come in, people thinking, oh, he's right-footed, he's got no shot on his left. Talk to me about the technique, the pass from Konate, and then the confidence to actually just swipe that into the bottom right-hand corner.
That's what you want to see from Dom. That's what we've been waiting for, right? Just to add a few more goals, because he's been super crucial part of our team with his press. But we want to see a little goal, of course you do, lad. And that was perfect. Ibu was, honestly, lad, I was made up with that ball right through the lines, lad. Penetrated like 1, 2, 3, 3 lines of players, and then Dom picked it up brilliantly, opens his body up, lets it roll across, drops his shoulder down, left foot, perfect, lad. That's exactly what you want from a number 10. He did it perfectly. I don't think there's much to say on it, lad. Great technique. I hope his confidence is getting built. I feel like it has this season. Seeing good goals now as well. That was boss, lad. Fantastic. And it was early.
Yeah. And do you know what? That was the thing I was talking about in the preview. Early. Let's score 1 or 2
Just
and
get these
really just... Because, bro, Salah's goal yesterday, which was the second goal, which we'll talk about now,
mad.
great ball over from Cody Gakpo. And the thing I love about Salah is his concentration and his focus. He's now only scored 3 goals this Premier League season in the first half. That was his third one. So again, we got what we
That's
wanted.
mad, that.
We were 2-0 up at half time. Salah's actually scoring in the first half. But you'll be able to help me on this. As the ball comes over from Gakpo, right, you've got Greaves in there who's 6'3". He actually scored the goal for them. He's missed it. Now, the mentality you need as a striker, a poacher who's at the back stick to keep your composure and slot that away, you're almost expecting the defender to head that, right? So when he doesn't head that and he can't reach it and you're just tucked in, like not just there behind him, waiting for any knockdowns, the time it will take for the defender to miss the header and for then you to go, right, the ball's coming to me, touch it, shoot straight away, is milliseconds. Absolutely milliseconds. So the concentration that he has to have in that goal, and he makes it look so easy. It's like it looks like a tap into him. But from the
Sticks it into
angle,
the roof.
the power that he's had to generate from a standing position and the time that he's had, or the little amount of time that he's had to react to the defender missing the ball, to receive it and shoot, that's world class.
For me, I totally get what you're saying, lad. It's a bit easier when it's hitting your foot rather than... So sometimes when the defender's going for the ball, you see the attacker, once the defender's missed it, he'll go head it, and it's a bit of a caught him off guard because the distance between the heads is close. But when it's going to your foot, there is a bit more time. But I totally get you, lad. He's got it ingrained in him now. That's what his training's for. I'm sure he gets balls zipped into him. He has to take a touch and shoot. That's just the way it is. The thing that I love about that goal definitely is part of that. But mostly, he just knows how big the goal is, lad. He knows how big and how much space he's got to put the ball in. He doesn't look to put it in like the bottom corner or just smash it anywhere. He literally, very casually knows there's the roof or the net there. I just need to hit the roof. And he just does it, lad. Like, I know that sounds very simple, but it's millisecond decisions, as you're saying. That's what makes him one of the GOATs, lad. That's what makes him sit at the table of greats. Them, the split-second decisions that makes him one of the greatest goal scorers ever. And what a great cultured little finish to take over from Thierry Henry, mate. That great, like brilliant.
Yeah.
What a great little goal, lad. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Well,
And
exactly
it
what we
goes back
wanted. And
to
then,
what we were just talking about, overtaking Thierry with a goal like that.
yeah,
And from where I
lovely.
was sat, it was such a tight angle that we actually thought it hit the side netting at the other end of the Kop. So when you saw the kind of net ripple and the ball ping around the net,
Stuff that
you
goes
go,
up and
right,
down, doesn't it?
yeah,
Clever.
yeah,
Super smart, lad. Really, really clever finish. Really smart.
yeah. And
Knows
like
what
you
he's
say,
doing.
that was the goal that took him above Thierry Henry as well. So
Yeah, man.
unbelievable finish, man. What a player, what a man. And you know the song which came and went, but I heard it again yesterday. If he's good enough for you, he's good
He's
enough for
good
me.
enough for me.
Scores another few, then I'll be
And
Muslim
I'll be
too.
Muslim too.
Like,
Yeah, I remember that one, lad.
it's
I
just
remember that as
unbelievable. And that came back out yesterday. So great finish from Mo Salah. The third goal, great work from Gravenberch. Plays the ball, punches the ball
with
into
Dom.
Szoboszlai. Again, a nice cheeky kind of, almost caught the keeper off guard a little bit.
He
Took the
played
shot
half
early.
and off in 3 of the goals,
Yeah,
lad. The first one he scored, the second one he occupied the men in front of him. So that's Mo Salah could have space on the back post. And then the third one, he was getting in the box to take the shot, lad. And then Cody got a lucky rebound. Like,
yeah,
honestly, Dom has super impressed me, lad. Great goal. Great little, just occupying the box, just get bodies in there, get the ball in the net. Great goal. All of them.
Yeah, and Cody takes them finishes all day long. That's when you're in form, you get those rebounds, they fall to you, you stick them away. And you know what, bro? Like, maybe apart from the game that you and I went to against Brentford earlier on in the season, was it Bournemouth or Brentford?
Bournemouth.
I can't think of another game, maybe apart from that one, where we go in at half time like that. There was no stress. There's no need for Arnie Slot. There's no need for Arnie Slot to deliver a masterpiece in how to turn this game around. You're drawing, you're losing, win the game. No, we're 3-0 up at half time. Isn't it mad that you can be top of the table in the Champions League, in the Premier League, and still every single game that goes by, you're still not totally at rest because there's just too much madness going on. Yeah, exactly.
Seen the Southampton game, you know what I mean? Like, it happens, mate. That's what the Premier League's all about. There's quality all over. And that's what the game is about, right? On a one-off day, anyone beats anyone. That's why we love it. If they're well-drilled enough and they're willing and they've got the mentality, lad, anyone can beat anybody. That's it.
Yeah.
Celtic beat Barcelona 1-0.
That's true. That is true. I actually remember watching that game at uni, 2013.
Remember that, lad?
I remember it. So yeah, he gets the third goal, and then the fourth goal is one of those crosses that you would have seen Gerrard do to Torres back in the day. It's that sweep, that beautiful sweep right foot. It just lands on his head, but there's still work to do because he kind of heads it. I think a lot of strikers maybe head that down and back across the keeper where the cross came from, but he kind of heads it in the corner. The pace is on it, so it's done a lot of the work for
instinctive.
him. Cross has.
He's just glanced it off his head. He knows on his stride as he's jumping. He's a big lad. He's jumped and just guarded it. It's just boom off my head. That's clever. That all instinctive. Didn't think about it. Just did it. Brilliant.
And I saw someone say, "Isn't it great to see Cody Gakpo, all 6'3" of him, finally learning how to use his body and how to be physical and move people out the way." He's just an all-round package at the minute. And I think he scored 14 goals now this season. He scored 14 last season, bro. So he's already beaten that. So now we're looking at someone. Exactly. Now we're looking at someone who is reliable, he's clinical. And I asked this to Mario, and I want to ask it to you now as a hot Kopic. When do you think, let's leave Mo Salah out of it because Mo Salah's just Mo Salah. When do you think we say as Liverpool fans that Cody Gakpo is the most clinical and most available forward player that we have, apart from Mo Salah?
Yeah, it's true, lad. I think you say it now, don't you?
Do you say it now? Is he more clinical than Jota?
No, he's not more clinical than Jota, but he's more reliable.
But Jota more reliable equals more goals, equals more clinical?
No? He's more reliable. He can get more goals for us. Ratios and minutes doesn't matter when you're not on the pitch, really. He can score us a few goals, Jota, but Cody Gakpo is reliable. That's one of the best attributes about Mo Salah, right? Is that he's consistently just on the football pitch. That's what we need from your best players. And Cody Gakpo is absolutely doing that for us this year, without a shadow of a doubt. I remember last year, everyone moaning about him, and I remember you asking me questions about him. I literally said, this lad's a good footballer. Like, he's got a good technique on him. He just seems like he's being played out of position. He's playing centre mid and centre forward, which is just not what we bought. We bought a left winger, and the second he gets put into left wing, look what he does. Because everyone was saying, look at the performances he puts in for Netherlands, and I was like, well, he's playing in this position. That's where he's grew. That's where all of his instincts have developed. He's still a young player. He's gonna kick on for us, lad. And the competition that he has with Lucho is boss. I like it. It's almost like the Mane Salah thing. They're both just in competition a little bit with each other, but it's healthy. It's going to be competitive for the team, and they're both going to get plenty of games time because modern football, mate, 75 million games of football. So, especially us, because we're going to go to finals and that, because we're boss.
Absolutely. And we need him for that. We definitely need him for that. But, bro, I'm super impressed with Cody Gakpo. He goes around his business. He doesn't want to be the main man. You know, he barely makes... Well, I know for a fact that he's well liked in the change room. He's very much, to be honest, from what I can see and from what I know, from what I've heard, there isn't one player that the players don't like. Everyone's a big family, which is what you want. But I love his mentality, bro. He just gets on with it. If he's playing, great. Doesn't over celebrate his goals. He almost says, "Well, yeah, that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm really good. So just carry on playing me, and this is what you're going to get in return." So big up to Cody Gakpo, man. I absolutely love him. Shout out to Virgil van Dijk for making him choose Liverpool over Man United as well. And just before we go, a little look ahead. So we are doing a separate PSV Eindhoven preview. Funnily enough, the club that Cody Gakpo used to play for and captain until we bought him off them 2 years ago. So we're going to get into that. Doyle, first in Eredivisie at the minute, so it will be a tough game. They've only lost 3 league games this season. And currently in the Champions League, they are in 19th place. So this game is super important to them, not so important to us. And then at the weekend, and this is a game I'm really scared about now, Bournemouth away. Really scared.
That's the one,
after
lad.
they smashed up Forest 5-0. That's the one, right?
What? We scored 1 goal against them the whole season, and they bagged 5 against them, lad. What?
Yeah.
Lad,
that can't happen.
Did you know they're the most informed team in the league in the last 6 games?
Yeah. Doesn't surprise me.
But if there's anyone that can beat them, lad, if there's anyone that can beat a team in form, there's anyone that can fight, it's the Red Men. I absolutely believe they can.
Bayer Leverkusen hadn't lost in however long.
We beat them,
Lille,
lad.
we've just beat Lille.
Also,
obviously.
We did beat these 3-0, lad, earlier in the season. We watched that game live, and honestly, they had a disallowed goal at the start, but apart from that, we limited them everywhere, lad. We battered them, like we played them off the pitch. So hopefully that'll have a little thing in their mentality where we're just their bogey team. I hope so, lads.
I hope. Touch some wood. Pause.
Oh, let me.
But listen, this has been fun, man. I if it's online, if it's in person, obviously the in-person one's better. But I've really enjoyed making this podcast with Doyle for you guys. So make sure you smash that like button. Enjoy your week, right? If you're a Red right now, carry that chest high. Go into your workplace. Have the banter. No one can touch us right now. But game at a time. You know, we've got to get through Wednesday. It builds up the momentum. If we can win that going into the Bournemouth game, even better. Fantastic. Got the derby coming up soon as well. Got to get through the next round of the FA Cup too. So next 5 games, really, really interesting to see how Liverpool do.
I'm sick of saying this.
I know, sick of saying it, man. I just want to see. Do you know what? I don't think
just win the league, lad.
Yeah, now though, can we just get it? Because the amount of times this season I've seen the games and it's like they've not moved, and I'm like, oh god, how many games have we still got to go?
Can we just? I reckon 10 more games, lad. 10.
I've never actually wanted
games.
the season to end as soon as this season because
I'll
of
wait until September for it to start again now.
It would just feel amazing if we win, won't it? But smash that like button. We are going to record a PSV preview now that's coming out today if you're watching this at 5 p.m. So go and watch that. But Doyle, big up to you for all your hard work on Hot Kopics, right? Smash that like button, get your comments in, subscribe. Any last minute messages for the Reds?
Up the Reds. Love you all. Thanks for watching. 150 bloody episodes, isn't that mad? 5 years. Let's hope we win the league. That's all I've got to say, lad. See you on the Al preview, innit?
See you on the Al preview, lad. Yeah, 100%. Big up, Doyle. I hope you've enjoyed it. Take care, guys. All the best.